Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. We are going to cover the concept of solubility and talk about the property of liquid. So let's start with the definition of solution. What is a solution? A solution is a homogeneous mixture of substance. So to make a solution, you have to dissolve what we call a solute inside a solvent. So the solute is always present in less amounts and the solvent is present in the greatest amount. So solvent and the solute may be solid, liquid, or gas. So some compounds dissolve easily in a given solvent, so other will not dissolve at all. So an easy way to determine whether a substance will dissolve is the like dissolve like rule. According to that rule, a polar substance can easily dissolve into another polar substance, and a non-polar substance can easily dissolve in another non-polar substance. So when you take a polar substance, it cannot be dissolved in a non-polar substance. Same thing with a non-polar substance can never be dissolved in a polar substance. So to better understand this concept, compounds can be separate into four categories based on the type of chemical bonds they contain. We have ionic bonds, hydrogen bonds, covalent bonds, and non-polar covalent bonds. So the solubility of a compound is defined as the amount of substance that will dissolve in a given solvent at a specific temperature. So the degree of solubility is that point we reach by dissolving a maximum of solute or maximum of quantity of solute that can get the whole solution to the saturation point. Now, dissolve the sugar into water, you get to the point where sugar is not dissolving. What we do then? Okay, so we have two main factors that affect solubility. The first one is the temperature. For some compounds, raising the temperature will affect the dissolution, their dissolution. But for some other compounds, decreasing the temperature will actually help the compound to dissolve. This is the case of what we call calcium hydroxide. In the case of calcium hydroxide, when the solution is saturated, to get the calcium hydroxide to dissolve completely, you have to actually lower the temperature of the solution. So the other factor that affects solubility is what we call intermolecular force. So there is three kind of intermolecular force. We have what we call London dispersion force, dipole attraction, and hydrogen bonds. So I put together this quick check quiz for you actually to just test your knowledge. Which one of the following substance is more soluble in water? Salt, NaCl, or benzoic acid? To talk about mixture. So what is a mixture? The substance having two or more elements or compounds which combine physically and not chemically are called mixture. So a mixture can be a combination of two solid compounds. A mixture can be a combination of a liquid and a solid. So a mixture can also be a combination of two liquids together. So mixture can be homogeneous and mixture can be heterogeneous. Okay, homogeneous is when the two compounds mixed together are completely mixed out. You cannot tell the difference. They are homogeneous. When you look at the mixture, you cannot tell that it is actually two compounds that are put together. For example, if you take the grape juice, is one kind of an homogeneous mixture. Grape juice is a good example. Heterogeneous, you can actually tell that two compounds are there. You still can see the parts of the two compounds in suspension into the solution. So that one is heterogeneous, an heterogeneous mixture. Now we want to cover the concept of separation of mixture. So how to, or what are the different techniques we use to separate a mixture of two solids, and what can be the different technique we use to separate a mixture of liquid and solids, and what are the technique used to separate a mixture of two liquids together. This is what we are going to cover in this part of the lecture. So we're going to start with the separation of mixture of two solids when two solids are put together. So the first method you can use is called hand picking, mechanical picking, or hand picking. So as you can see on the image, this image is telling you a lot. In this method, the components are separated on the basis of a physical characteristic like size and shape. So as you can see on the image, you just pick the pieces, okay, you separate them using your hands. So the other methods you can use to separate a mixture of two solids is sieving. Sieving is a simple technique for separating particles of different size. So third technique you can use to actually separate two solids, okay, combined together is what we call winnowing. Winnowing means the separation of two heterogeneous solids, okay, which can be defined by the separation of a heavier substance from the lighter substance of a mixture using air or blowing air. So an example is the separation of grain from husk. So this is another example of technique used to separate two solids combined together. Threshing. Threshing is a common method for manual separation, okay, manual separation of two solids that are combined together. So the common method for manual threshing is hands beating against an object. The last one is what we call a magnetic separation. You can use a magnet actually to attract or to pick the iron bar or the piece of iron out of the mixture, because you know magnet will attract the iron, the piece of iron. So it is easy to actually use a magnet to do this kind of separation. Okay, where we have a iron bar or a piece of iron mixed with sand. Okay, so when you take the magnet and you roll the magnet on the top of the sand, you see that all the piece of metal, all the piece of iron will come in contact with the magnet. Now let's look at the method used to separate a solid liquid mixture. So the first one we are going to talk about is the filtration. In the case of solids and the liquids mixed together, you can use filtration to actually separate the solid from the liquid. So now another method to separate the liquid from the solid is called evaporation. So for example, if you have any substance, okay, that is mixed with water, okay, as soon as you get the water evaporated, the substance will remain inside. So evaporation is the process of obtaining a non-volatile soluble solid from its solution by allowing the liquid component to actually vaporize. Okay. Other methods are also used to separate a solid from liquids. Okay, when both are put together, solid and liquid mixture, in the solid liquid mixture, we have what we call centrifugation, chromatography, crystallization, and separation by sedimentation and decantation. Okay, so when you got here, you can actually stop the video and read the definition, because we have for each one you have the definition well written here on the slides. Okay. Now the last mixture we are going to talk about is the liquid mixture. In this case, I'm gonna talk of only one method mostly used. Okay, the one that is mostly used to actually separate a liquid mixture. So it is called distillation. Okay, so the process of heating the solution to form a vapor of the liquid phase and then cooling the vapor to get to the liquid again is called distillation. Okay, so that is the only methods I'm going to talk to you about in this lecture, okay, that can be used to actually separate a liquid mixture. So to finish this presentation, this is another quick check, actually quick check quiz B. What method of separation would be most effective on the following mixture? A. Seawater. B. Gold nuggets in water. C. A solution of alcohol and water. Alcohol is a liquid. Water is also liquid. So that's a liquid. Gold nuggets in water. Gold is solid. Water is liquid. That's solid and liquid put together. And seawater also. Seawater is a mixture of actually NaCl, salt NaCl, and water. So go back through everything we cover in this lecture and try to find out the answer to those three questions.